Welcome, travelers, to High Fantasy. I'm Brett.
I clapped and I shouldn't have clapped. You got me clapping.
I need my herb pouch. Daddy's been paying for my salt.
This
I'm part of the poop patrol, ma'am.
And I'm Emily. But I'm like, don't make the robots.
Don't make the robots
crunch. I would speak with dinosaur in a second. I have beef with DC. It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Join us on our epic world-spanning adventures. Armed with only a bit of long-bottom leaf, we will delve into some of the most amazing worlds of imagination that have ever existed. Before we get into that, don't forget to check out our Patreon if you want to support the channel. And without further ado, let's get into it.
You can clap.
You can.
Yay! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of High Fantasy. I'm Brett.
And I'm Emily.
And we have just finished our Christmas series at this point.
Yes.
We were trying...
Am I still gonna do an episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
I did the last episode.
Yeah, she did the last episode, and it was awesome.
It was so good. And you loved it. Probably.
So, do you know what we're talking about?
I'm gonna be fully honest, I don't know. I remember you pitched an idea for a game that we could play. But then we also talked about doing a Fallout episode, and I don't know what we landed on.
Fair. So, we're going to be doing one of our longest mini-series in honor of Fallout Season 2 coming out here soon. We're going to be talking about Fallout, the games that came before, the games that shaped the TV series. So for all of you people who just got into Fallout from the TV series and have no idea about the games or the storylines or the things that came before, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about each one of the games. One game per episode is what we're going to try to do and kind of cover the overall arcing story of it. We're not going to get into the side quests because these games get huge and you could dump hundreds of hours into these games. So the first one might surprise you a little bit.
Okay.
It was not, because it was the first one, so it wasn't super big. But without further ado, let's get into the story of the game that started it all. Fallout 1.
Oh boy, tell me more.
The very first Fallout game that was ever created. Alright. Now, Fallout 1 was very different from the Fallouts that we know today. So a lot of us know Fallout as like first-person shooter, and you're like going through killing raiders, power armor. A lot of us know that, right? That's not exactly how it was. It started out as a third-person, top-down, turn-based sort of game.
Oh, it was turn-based? So kind of like the Final Fantasy games almost?
A lot like that. So what would happen is you would go around normally, but the second combat was initiated, so anybody started an aggressive action for any reason, your characters would go into turn-based mode.
Okay, so animation style, are we talking like pixel style?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Are we talking like, I guess, because there's still like the semi-realistic where they're trying to go for realistic, or was it just like chibi pixels?
Okay, so it was still kind of realistic. They were trying to go for more realism. There's blood, there's gore, like you can explode people, there's a whole thing. It was good graphics for 1997.
I was gonna say, what was it? 1997 is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild that's when the first one came out, but that's so cool.
Almost 30 years ago.
So they were trying, it was revolutionary for the time, I'm probably guessing, but it wasn't like they were intentionally being cutesy with it.
Exactly. Like, if they had the capability to make it look the way they wanted, and not that, because they were restricted.
Imagine a remaster of Fallout 1.
Hey.
Somebody get on that. Just
Now,
remake the Fallout 1 game.
That's the remake we all need. Now, here's a fun little quiz. When did the bombs drop? What year?
Oh God, I know this, and I know this, and that's why it's painful. It's the year
I can give you a hint.
2053 or 52.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
You got half of it right. It's 2077.
77? Why is it 77?
So in
I thought
the
it was
year...
like 20 years after. I remember it being pretty soon after where we're at, like today. So like, if this could happen in our lifetime.
In our lifetime, it's realistic. We live to 2077.
Yep.
Yes, 100%. But yes, this game takes place in the year 2161. So almost 100 years after the bombs have fallen
Okay.
in South California, or Southern California. Now, we're going to follow the Vault Dweller. Now, here's a crazy thing that we don't really get to see a lot, is these games, the main character doesn't have a name, because you choose the name of the main character. So
Yeah.
sometimes they do, sometimes it's canonical, but the vast majority of the time they're known by a title.
Does this guy have a name?
No.
Oh, you choose it still. Okay.
Yeah, you choose it. So this guy is kind of forever known. When people talk about them, they are known as the Vault Dweller.
Yeah.
So if you ever hear a story about Fallout 1 and somebody says the Vault Dweller, they're talking about the main character.
Okay.
You, the person you play.
Yeah.
And that will change. Like, there's the Lone Wanderer, there's the Vault Dweller, there's the Courier. All the characters from the different games that you kind of get to name and control, they have different titles.
Okay.
But this one's just simply known as the Vault Dweller. And we're going to follow him from his home in Vault 13 on a quest to find a water chip,
Okay.
since theirs broke.
Yes, I remember you telling me about this, where it's like the water chip in this vault. And the water chip, for people who aren't familiar with the Fallout universe, is the thing that provides water, like clean water, to the entire vault, right?
Yep, so without the water chip, you are boned.
Is it ever explained how that works? Because the idea of, oh, you have a chip and now you water, that makes no sense to me in the slightest.
Not yet. Again, they do actually bring this up in the Fallout TV series.
Okay.
Because, spoiler alert, near the end, they say that in the fight with the Raiders, their vault water chip got damaged.
Yes.
And so they can't stay in the vault indefinitely now, because they're not going to have clean water. Now, here's what I'm going to guess. I'm going to put this out there because this is how easy it is to explain shit like this. All you have to say is this chip is pivotal to the actual purification module for the vault, which is what's actually cleaning the water. So this is this one little chip is the intelligence of the machine that purifies and cleans the drinking water and the showering water and all that they currently enjoy in the vault. That's all you have to say.
And that makes a lot of sense. Like, it does make a lot of sense to have that. It's just, especially when it's not explained, it's like, what? By the way, just really quick disclaimers. There's gonna be spoilers throughout all of these episodes. So
yes.
Before we get too much further, remember that.
Yes, remember that we have warned you. If you are interested in the Fallout TV series and you haven't played the games, there's going to be some spoilers in here, because we're also going to be talking about how some of this stuff affects the show.
So, hold on to your butt cheeks, boys.
And maybe some, like, fan theories and ramifications that these could have on the show.
I love it.
But going forward, so almost 100 years after the bombs have fallen, that's when the very first Fallout game takes place. And we head ourselves out into the wasteland from Vault 13 in Southern California.
Okay.
Now, this is, again, an interesting concept because it doesn't happen in the later games, but they love to put time management things in here. So your vault has 150 in-game days before it runs out of purified water. At that point, you lose the game if you have not found the water chip.
Oh, boys. It's just a end game sort of thing. You're on
full
a time
end game
clock.
screen. Like, your vault, they all basically died from dehydration, and end of the game. If day 150 comes around and you have not hit a certain point in the game, you lose.
Oh, boy. Hey. Shh. Come here. Stop it. Okay.
So that is a big thing that we don't really have to deal with in Fallout, like 3 or 4. They encourage you to go through and, like, explore and, like, do the side quests and stuff. In this one, they do kind of do that as well.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute, because that's kind of one of the fun facts at the end. But there is a time limit, and you have to get to a certain point in the game or else you lose.
Okay, that's wild, but it makes sense. So, like, if you found it, but, like, you're not back at the vault yet, will you continue going? Or is it still just, like, you have to be back at the vault with it?
If you found the water chip, that will start phase 2 of the game.
Okay.
And we're going to get into what that means. But Essentially, yes. So you're good as long as
Okay.
you find it, but that starts phase 2 of the game.
Okay.
Now, also, I do want to put my own disclaimer in here. There's a lot of things that I have to leave out to talk about the main story of the game
Yeah.
because all Fallout games have multiple endings, they have multiple ways that you could deal with the situation, and they have a lot going on.
So just like with any of the other games, there's like multiple factions in this one that you can side with and go do other shenanigans
To
with?
a much lesser extent, but yes. Because, again, keep in mind this is the first one.
Yeah.
And so they were still establishing canon and trying to figure out how they wanted things to work. And it was a lot of them trying to figure out how do we want our world to look? How do we want our factions to be? And sometimes they're like, oh, that was a really stupid idea on our part and we should have done that.
Yeah.
And so they retcon it and they say, like, okay, well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yes, this is our first introduction to what a day in the wasteland looks like.
Okay.
Which is interesting. It's crazy
Yeah.
interesting. Because not everybody's using caps like we know.
That's wild. There's still like a mixed currency situation because it hasn't been long enough.
It's only been 100 years since the bombs fell.
Oh, that's wild.
So, the very first settlement that our character gets to go to, you've actually heard about.
Okay.
Can you guess what it is?
I mean, the only one that's coming to mind now as like a name I can even remember is Good Springs.
That's good. That is good. That's in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
Is Good Springs.
It's Reno, Nevada. Or is it Las Vegas?
Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I just don't know places.
Yeah. But the place that we get to encounter, the very first settlement, if we kind of like follow the game's tutorial,
Yeah.
is a place called Shady Sands.
Shady Sands! I didn't know it.
This town is going to be very important later, as it kind of becomes a big, like, first capital to edit point to the NCR.
Okay.
And if you remember it, this is taking place in Southern California.
Republic.
Yes,
Yep.
the new California Republic. So this is taking place in Southern California, and this place would eventually be the headquarters of the NCR before things happen to it. But that is a story for a different time.
Okay.
Right now, it is just the very first settlement that you come across. It's a small settlement of Shady Sands, and they deal in something called hub script.
Ooh, what's that?
Now, the traders of the hub is kind of the water merchants and where we back the US dollar with gold from Fort Knox, so we guarantee the value of the US dollar because we have gold to back it up. They do the exact same thing with HubScript,
Okay.
where it's cash
Yeah.
that they back with clean water. So they've basically got a big warehouse, or vault, quote-unquote, that they have stocked with clean water, and they guarantee the value of their HubScript in clean water.
That's wild.
Because clean water is one of the biggest things that you can kind of, like,
so
get
it's
into.
just like Fort Knox situation, except it's water instead of, wow.
Yep.
That's wild to think about.
And there are water merchants that you can actually, like, interact with. One of the things you can do, and I'm going to tell you this is a bad idea, but I'm not going to tell you why until later. You can interact with the merchants, and you can get a shipment of fresh water sent to your vault. This doubles the time that you have before your vault runs out of clean water.
So you can just send... That's crazy!
But this is a bad idea, and I will tell you why later.
Because, I mean, they're shifty topsiders. That's why, right?
Actually, no.
No?
Nope, other reasons, but...
The people in the vault suck and they're all gonna maul each other over water? Okay, I gotta stop guessing.
You're like, I gotta stop or else I'm gonna
ruin the surprise.
Now, after visiting places such as Shady Sands and a place called Junktown, the player finds out about a chip in Vault 15.
Okay.
So it's an extra water chip in Vault 15. Now, this is where Act 2 starts.
Okay.
So once you got to Vault 15, once you've got the water chip in your hand, now we're going to start on the second stage of the game.
Okay.
Where we find out the plot and how it thickens.
She's thickening.
Now, in Vault 15, we find out that super mutants have been attacking vaults and kidnapping people to turn them into more super mutants. Now, again, keep in mind, this is Fallout 1. No one has any idea what a super mutant is, how they're
Yeah.
created, etc., etc. So all we know is they're these big, giant, hulking brutes that have been actively, like, beating down vault doors and kidnapping vault residents.
Oh, dang. So they're out. We just know that they exist in this, but we don't see them really.
Yeah, so we kind of like have audio logs and some visuals a little bit, but mostly text logs telling us like they're breaking down the door, like, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We've seen them in the camera. They're giant hulking mutants.
Oh,
You know, but
boy.
that's all we know.
Yeah.
And we get to see the aftermath of what happened. Everyone's gone.
Oh, that's wild.
There are some bodies, but not many, because a lot of these people got dragged from their homes.
That's crazy.
Now, after coming back to Vault 13, so our home, our original vault,
Yeah.
with the water chip, the Overseer asks the player to go deal with the mutant threat. Because essentially, they haven't hit Vault 13 yet.
So if they just let them back inside, like, this is the only guy who knows the wasteland right now.
Exactly. This is their only chance of dealing with this threat before it literally comes knocking at their vault door.
So this guy already leaves the vault.
Mhm.
He's like, don't worry, guys, this is a shitty situation, but we're gonna go and I'm gonna bring back a water chip. And then you get back there, and the guy's like, ooh, would you mind doing us like one more favor?
Exactly what happens. So it's basically like, I'm very grateful for everything that you have done. You know, I appreciate this, but the problem is, if you don't go out and deal with this, eventually they will be knocking on our door. We don't know why they're going after vaults, but we know they're going after vaults and vault residents.
Yeah.
That's literally us.
Yeah.
So we got to do something to nip this in the bud. Now, the Overseer's name, I believe at this point, is a guy called Jacorian. He's this old dude. He's been the Overseer for a long time, and nobody in their vault has left the vault until you. And the only reason you are sent out is because they have to, or they're gonna die.
Yeah.
So, again, same problem. If this isn't dealt with, we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
But you've got some experience now. You've got some weapons. You know the wasteland better than literally anyone in the vault. So you are, again, their best chance now to figure out what is going on. So here's where we get to learn a lot of what will be actual canon in the future games and things to kind of like digest.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in phase 2 of the game. We've got the water chip back. We no longer have a timer for when their water's going to run out, because they got the water chip, they're fine.
Yeah.
But there's a different timer that we don't get to see.
Timer for when they get attacked? Yeah.
Yep. And again, if that happens, if you don't deal with this problem soon enough, well...
And then you just don't get to know about that timer.
Yeah.
Then timer's not for your eyes.
Yeah. In the original version of the game, like, when you bought the discs, there was a thing called the Mutant Invasion.
Okay.
And it was set to start the second your character entered the game. So basically what happens is, over a certain amount of time, areas, like points of interest in the game, start getting attacked and overrun by the mutants. So on certain specific days, like say day 50, Junktown falls to the mutant uprising.
Oh boy.
You know, or Shady Sands falls, because it's like the smallest one. Day 100, Junktown falls, and all of the people get, like, you know... Okay, so, number 1, the first big thing we find out is super mutants are made by dipping a human in a vat of something called FEV.
You have to fully dip them, like full submerge?
Full submerge. We're talking dangle you like a fish, and just in a vat of chemicals, just do a little shaky shake here, and then pull them out, and they're going to turn into a super mutant.
You're like a chocolate-covered pretzel, but you're a human person.
But FEV.
That's wild and crazy.
It's this, like, green glowing goo. Now, FEV stands for Forced Evolutionary Virus. Super mutants are basically evolved versions of humans.
Okay.
Bigger, stronger, and better at dealing with the wasteland than anything that the wasteland has seen up to this point.
Yeah.
Because humans are squishy.
I would objectively want to be a super mutant if I was in the Fallout world, just for protection reasons.
And we're gonna get, like, this game gets more into super mutants and what's going on with them and the benefits and downsides more than anything, because that's the main plot of this game.
Okay, it's like really, it's crazy because everything had to start from somewhere, but that feels like such a side thing now, but it had to be important at one point.
Exactly. So, that's the first thing we learn. Number 2, the source of the mutants is the Mariposa military base. We know that that is where they are coming from, and that is where they are dragging their captives. Just bring them in, and then super mutants come out. Ooh,
Crazy.
crazy. Number 3, the super mutants are being controlled by someone called the Master. We have no idea who this is or what's going on yet, but we know that that's their boss. Number 4, when a mutant is made, they are dumb. Like, they are not super intelligent. They are smart enough to... They have about the mentality of a 4th or like 4 or 5-year-old. But they're being controlled.
Yeah.
So there's a thing there, but some of them are smart. So unless the human is something called a prime normal. Now, what a prime normal is someone who has never been exposed to Fallout.
Damn, I'd be fluffed.
So if you were on the surface, well, you're going to turn into a dumb super mutant. But now we start to put some blocks together. This is why they want the vault dwellers.
Because they're untouched.
They are untainted by the radiation. They have never experienced nuclear fallout. They are prime normals. Now, when they get dunked, they don't come out stupid. They're smart. They're just as smart as they were when they went in. If anything, even smarter sometimes.
Oh boy.
So full speech, tactical planning, all of it. Now, these guys are going to work as the Master's generals. Because he's got soldiers. Soldiers aplenty, right?
Yeah.
But the generals are really what the Master wants. Now, we find out where they are. We find out what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're going to take out the military base.
Okay.
After taking out the military base, so Mariposa, the player will find the Master in a hidden vault around his cult called the Children of the Vault. So basically what we do is we go in there, we take out his like production for super mutants, and we find out he's not there. He's not at the Mariposa military base. The Master is not there. But we find out he's hiding.
Where is he hiding?
In a vault. A secret vault, basically around, surrounded by this church, and he's got a whole human cult following.
Oh boy.
So, obviously this isn't done until we take out the Master. But, who is the Master?
Yeah, who is he?
Like, what's going on here?
I feel like this has to be somebody from, like, a vault who was turned, or, like... So one of the intelligent ones, obviously.
The Master is actually Richard Moreau, a doctor from Vault 8. Very, very great. Exposed to FEV at the Mariposa military base. Now, this was not the normal kind of FEV that they dunk people in. This was a special, different chemical branch of FEV.
Oh, so, like, there's only one that could possibly be him.
Yes. And there are 2 beings canonically in the game who have been affected by this FEV. There's the Master, and there's a guy called Harold.
Okay.
But we'll talk about Harold later.
Okay.
He's an interesting NPC. Now, this exposure to FEV at the Mariposa military base forced him to combine with the computers, turning him into the hive mind that commands the super mutants with his newfound mental telepathic powers.
So he's not even a super mutant, he's in a machine.
He's an amalgamation of flesh and, like, computer.
What the hell?
He's not even, like, a problem, really. Like, this thing doesn't really fight.
Because it's a machine.
It's a machine. It's
not even a robot. It's just a machine.
Yeah, now, here's where I do want to kind of talk a little bit, because the Master, quote-unquote, was this random dude, right? Richard Moreau. When he got exposed, he woke up in the Mariposa military base after kind of like getting blasted by this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he wandered around the interior of the military base for a little while. He was feeling weird. He was feeling odd. Something was happening, but he didn't know what was going on. And eventually there was this rat, like big skeever kind of rat thing. And a tentacle opened up from his stomach, reached out, grabbed the rat, and sucked it in.
What?
Uh-huh.
So he, before he became a machine,
Yep.
was just walking around like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah, so he was when this happened, he got all of the memories of the rat.
Oh my god. Okay.
Now here's where we get into a crazy like thing, right? He's absorbing the consciousness of whatever he eats.
Okay.
And they are in turn becoming a piece of him. So by the time you find the master, it's not just this guy anymore.
Oh.
He speaks in multiple voices. Some of them are male, some of them are female, some of them are computer.
Some of them are squeaks.
There is squeaking in the
That's
background.
incredible. Wow.
So basically, he got the ability to absorb anything that he wants. And that's not just biologically, that's also, like, technologically.
So he wanted to merge with the computer or the machine?
I wouldn't say it was like he made this active decision. I would say more of
sense.
He didn't know what was going on and it happened.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's more of like a parasite than it is like you having consciousness.
Now, the big thing about this is it juiced his intelligence way past normal parameters.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And unlocked psychic powers.
Okay.
And with these newfound psychic abilities, he was able to control the super mutants. So he's literally in their heads.
He's a psychic flesh golem that's attached to a machine.
Yeah.
That's a wild statement.
I want you to picture your desktop, but an old old boob tube monitor, and 3 different heads sitting on the side of it. That's him. That's the master.
That is wild. That's the craziest thing I've heard all day.
Now, knowing what you know about the master, why do you think they are actively doing what they're doing? Is there like a reason or an idea that you can come up with?
I think it's exactly that. I think it's the logic, because if you've unlocked so much of your brain that you are only thinking in logic and not in like emotions or even practicality, if you're only thinking in logic, the most logical thing to do is to turn everybody into super mutants so that they can defend themselves in the waste, and then you don't have a problem with radiation anymore.
You are so right. You're so right. So, Project Unity is what the master wants. It's called Unity. And the entire purpose of this idea that the master has is humans can't survive this.
Yeah.
The wasteland is not built for human biology. But you know who can survive this? An 8-foot tall hulking monstrosity that's immune to radiation and diseases.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is going to be able to survive in the wasteland way better than any human can.
Yeah, and it's not thinking about how do you reproduce? How do you continue the,
Now you're jumping ahead of the story.
I'm sorry.
But yes. So basically, with this in mind, what the master does not know is that super mutants are sterile.
He doesn't even know?
Nope.
He made these things and he doesn't even know?
Because again, at this point, he's not even movable.
He's a machine.
He's a machine. And so he's not thinking to himself, oh man, I need to make sure that they can breed. That never crossed his mind. That part was never there. Because when you become a mutant, a super mutant, you lose all gender. So you are not a guy or a girl anymore, you are a Ken doll. Mm-hmm. You're an 8-foot tall hulking Ken doll, but you're a Ken doll.
There is no biology there.
So they're great at taking a beating, they're great at moving heavy objects, the smart ones can do their whole thing, but you can't reproduce, you can't make more super mutants unless you have humans. So, if you point this out to the master, because like if you have a high enough intelligence character, you can bring this up, and if you've explored enough and basically found enough of the logs, you can prove that super mutants are sterile.
Uh-huh.
And if you prove this to the master in the final confrontation, they will self-destruct.
That's wild, but like it makes a lot of sense.
So you can either fight the master, and if you do, a bunch of turrets come up out of the ground, and you have to fight there, or you can prove that the entire point of their plan is null and void, and they destroy themselves out of just like, oh no,
Of like I
why have I done
literally,
this?
it's like everything that I was doing was because I thought I was helping people, and now I am a machine monster.
Exactly. So again, like, it's kind of crazy because Fallout 1 obviously is setting the standard for everything.
Yeah.
So all the way in Fallout 4, we hear super mutants talking about the master.
Uh-huh.
And I used to be in the master's army.
Because super mutants live longer than humans too, right?
No guarantee, but they can't die through old age is what we've experienced thus far. They have
Oh,
the same
damn.
benefit as ghouls in that way, where there are some super mutants from a really long time ago that some people are kind of like, okay, where did he come from? What was going on there? But main point being, from a really long time ago, that are like, oh yeah, like this happened to me almost before the war. Because the Mariposa military base is a huge part of Fallout lore. And
Yeah.
this is something we should probably get into. Because you remember when I told you that Roger Maxim, I think his name was Roger Maxim, maybe I could be wrong.
Maxim is the name of one of the characters in the show.
Maximus
Yes.
is. Maxim is actually an elder.
Oh, okay.
Maximus and Maxim
I
are
was
different,
wrong.
but yes.
You were right.
But yes, so the leader of what we know would become the Brotherhood of Steel.
Uh-huh.
He takes a bunch of his troops to Mariposa.
Okay.
And they find out the very not great experiments that they have been doing at the Mariposa military base. And he says, there is no way that I can, with good conscience, work under people who would allow this to happen. And so he executes all of the scientists at Mariposa, and he secedes from the U.S. military with all of his men.
Who's like, I'm not taking your job if it means this.
Uh-huh.
And so, is that when super mutants stop being made, or stop being made easily?
So, basically, there's the question of how many people did they turn into super mutants before this guy shows up and executes them? Where were they being stored? Was it the only location that they were working on FEV with? And we actually find out no. No, it was not the only location that they were working on FEV.
Not the last super mutants.
No, we will find another one in West Virginia. But that is a different story. But Mariposa is used as the big, this is where super mutants started.
Yeah.
So in the Fallout universe, that's canonically a bunch of people always go back to Mariposa because that was the founding of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Uh-huh.
That was the first introduction to FEV and like the forced evolutionary virus and what it can do to human beings, creating the Master, which was like started out in Mariposa. Other crazy things happen, but Mariposa, huge. They keep throwing more lore about Mariposa out, and everything else kind of suffers a little bit because of it, because they're like, okay, we get it. This place is important. It's so important. But because this place is so important, and it is the like origin point of a lot of what we know to be super mutants, it gets to be a little crazy when you go into the lore. Because FEV is not just a super mutant virus. FEV does more than that. So we know that if you dunk a normal human in, they come out as a super mutant. We know if you dunk a human in that has never been exposed to radiation, they become a prime super mutant, so they're still intelligent. But what's it do if you dunk, I don't know, a dachshund in there?
Is this the centaurs? They makes a centaur?
Yeah.
And a centaur is not what you think a centaur is.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
No, it's not. But yes, this is where centaurs come from. If you are curious as to what a Fallout centaur is, look it up, but I'm going to give you a trigger warning right now. It's awful.
It's bad.
And one of the things people are thinking maybe a particular character in the TV show is going to turn into.
Yes, I think that very much so. We were
But
rewatching it, and you had showed me centaurs for the first time, and I'm like, this little
uh,
bitch.
this guy right here, maybe
He's next.
maybe.
He's next.
There are also super mutant hounds.
Okay.
And if anybody has seen the old Hulk movie where they basically put the Hulk formula into different animals, like dogs, that's exactly what it is. I want you to picture a pit bull on Hulk steroids.
That's wild, and I love.
They're enormous and just so much muscle.
It's just a baby.
Huge mouth and like scrunched up face.
It's just a baby.
It's amazing. But we haven't seen what FEV would do to, say, I don't know, a Brahmin or a deer, like, or a Mirelurk.
Yeah,
So
because what does a pure cow look like as opposed to a radiated cow?
exactly, if you were to dip a pure
Is there
cow,
something worse than a centaur?
I mean, maybe. So that's kind of like one of the big things that I'm interested to see, and I hope that they kind of go into a little bit more and explain a little bit more, is how FEV works and where it's going. And maybe this is a good time to say it. So the other guy that got exposed to the FEV formula that the Master got exposed to was a guy named Harold,
Yeah.
and he turned into a ghoul.
So he wasn't a super mutant?
He was not a super mutant. He got turned into a ghoul with one special difference. There's a tree growing out of his head.
How big is this tree?
Starts out pretty small.
How big is it now?
Harold is in 3 of the Fallout games.
What?
1, 2, and 3.
You think he's gonna be in the season 2?
Nope, because we figure out exactly what happened to Harold in season 3.
What
Or
happened?
the third game. Eventually, Harold's tree would grow so big that he would stop to take a nap one day, and it would set root while he took a nap.
So we can't move?
So now he is a tree person that is rooted in the ground, but his little plant had a crazy effect that no one was expecting. Everywhere Harold went, the tree started to produce fruit. And it would drop these seeds and these like different, things as he journeyed through the wastes, right? He did not know it, but he is going to single-handedly be responsible for the regrowth of the wasteland. Because everywhere Harold went and these seeds were to follow, green, lush trees started to sprout from the ground. Forests started to pop up where Harold had been adventuring.
That's crazy.
And every once in a while, once you find Harold in Fallout 3, he's surrounded by a thing called the Grove. And he's in the center of it. Trees everywhere. And he's got a cult that follows him.
He deserves a cult.
Actually sad.
Oh.
Because Harold is just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And they treat him like a god.
Yeah.
He hates that.
Oh.
Because he's like, I just want to talk to them. And every time I say stuff, they keep trying to look for deeper meaning in the things that I'm saying.
And I just really want somebody to talk to.
Like, I can't move. I can't leave this spot anymore. Like, I'm just looking for somebody to have a conversation with, and they're taking down the words I say like gospel. And he's like, I can't do anything. When you meet Harold, he asks you to kill him. Because he is tired of being here. He's so tired. He's lived so long. He can't move. He can't adventure. He can't do anything anymore. And the only people that are around to talk to him are these crazy cultists. And so he asks you to end his life. There's actually a couple ways you can do this, but
you
maybe...
find him a wife who will talk to him every day in a normal fashion.
In a normal fashion.
Who's a ghoul.
So we'll talk a little bit more about Harold when we talk about Fallout 3, 2, and 3.
So incredibly sad. That's so incredibly sad, and I need to know that he's okay, or he can be okay.
Harold in Fallout 1, let's go back to our normal time. He is doing great.
Yeah.
Okay? He is one of the only people in the wasteland who knows how to navigate stuff. He's opening up trade routes, and he's basically got the largest caravan company ever, and he's getting everybody kind of together to work together to get all this going, and he's trying to just open up free trade routes to all these settlements and make sure that like society can still kind of prosper. And he's kicking ass.
Harold, you're regrowing the wastes, you are opening up trade routes, you are building communities.
Harold's awesome.
We stan Harold.
He's awesome. Harold's super cool.
Rocks. Wow, that's great.
But you might be asking yourself, what happens at the end of this game? What is going on at the end of Fallout 1? So we have left our vault for the very first time. We have traveled the wastes. We have learned about the cultures and the people who are out here and the like nasty things that lie in wait to murder humanity. We have experienced other vault life by going to different vaults and like other places of interest on the map here. We have found out about super mutants and their creation in the Mariposa military base. We found out about FEV. We found out about all this crazy stuff. But finally, we're done. We did it. We stopped the mutant threat. We have saved the Vault 13. They have clean water for as long as they want it. We have done everything that needed to be done, and we finally return home for our reward.
Was it just a life of peace?
It would have been.
I've heard this before. I do know this ending. I will never forget it.
Now, you get back to Vault 13 after literally being the savior of the wasteland. You single-handedly stopped the invasion of the wasteland by super mutants. You stopped people from being kidnapped, all this stuff from being turned into them, blah, 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 blah. Go home, and you meet with Overseer Jacorian again.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, again, while he is so grateful for everything that you have done, he cannot have the people in the vault trying to emulate you, trying to leave to go to the wastes. The thing that scares him the most is that you will inspire an entire generation to leave the vault, and eventually they won't be able to be in the vault anymore. And they're going to die. So, despite everything that you have done for them, and despite this huge long quest to save your home and your friends and your family, your reward at the end of the very first game is you are exiled from Vault 13, never to return. And you wander off into the wastes that you have now become so familiar with to start a new chapter in the story of the Vault Dweller.
You know how BS that is?
Oh.
That's so much horse. Oh, I don't want my community to evolve with time. I want it to stay the same thing forever and ever. You can't be here. It depends on how much the waste would change me. I might have done something about that.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts. Now, if you do wait outside the vault when you very first start, if you spend like a couple days just kind of waiting outside the vault, they'll reopen the doors and you can go back inside and you can actually do some quests there.
Oh.
That's the only way you can actually do that, is you have to wait or just come back after a few days.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because the end of the game is you being the most selfless person ever, basically. You save everyone. And after saving everyone, your reward, your big, jackpot at the end is basically being told, thanks for saving everybody, now leave for the greater good. And you do.
This guy's a Chad.
Yeah.
This guy's a major Chad energy.
What a frickin' Chad. So, currently in the timeline, a year total has passed. So, we were in 2167, I believe. We end the very first game in 2168. A year after the Vault Dweller stepped foot outside of Vault 13, they have accomplished all of this stuff.
I'd go hang out with Harold.
Harold's story is tragic. Just tragic how he gets to the point that he's at. But we'll have so many fun things to kind of like talk about as we go into Fallout 2. Because here's the thing. Until we get all the way back in Fallout 76, which is one of the most recent Fallout games that has ever come out, but is technically a prequel to everything, Fallout 1 is the closest we get.
Uh-huh.
because Fallout 1 takes place almost 100 years after the bombs have fallen.
Yeah.
Fallout 76, I believe, takes place maybe 50 years after the bombs have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's technically a precursor to everything.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun to go along the timeline and find out about like how things are going and what's
Yeah.
going on. But with that, what do you think about the story of Fallout 1?
That's crazy. I would commit crimes if that happened. Like if I was like, I'm gonna go do this for the better of everybody. And then I was just told, hey, by the way, you're not welcome here anymore. I I don't think I would be able to keep my cool. That's a shitty ending, but I think that's the whole point. Is the Fallout universe isn't fair. It's not fair to anybody, so it really highlights the fact of like, oh, even when you think you found your people, you still don't matter in this world. Everybody is just out there surviving. And so even though I think it like that sucks, it makes so much sense for the Fallout universe.
This game would really go forward to set the tone for most Fallout games in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they changed the way that they wanted to present the story when they had Fallout 3 for the first person shooter angle. But I think it was crazy how much this kind of set into motion because we now establish canonically that super mutants are a thing, where they come from, and what's going on. But here's something I want you to think about.
Mm-hmm.
The super mutants are still there.
Uh-huh.
He didn't kill all of them. So now the master's gone,
Yeah.
which means they no longer have a controlling driving force.
Yeah.
So there's basically now raider groups, quote unquote, of superhumans that are just out there with the mentality of a 4 to 5 year old person. They can use guns, they can do all that stuff, but they just take what they want. They
Mm-hmm.
take what they want. They eat humans. They have stew pots full of bones. It's this whole thing because they're not trying to capture people. They don't have an intelligent computer in their brain basically being like, hey, this is what you're doing now. So they go on their baser instincts.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something we get to explore in Fallout 2.
That's wild. I really love the idea that the first couple of games are very heavily influenced by super mutants because again, like from everything I've seen of not only like the show but of like us playing it together, you showing me things while you play it, like everything that I've seen from it, super mutants are very much there, but just another one of the things that are there,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so it's really interesting having them be this like integral part of the world of like, oh, these things are new because it makes sense. They had to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And they almost took over the entire wasteland.
Uh-huh.
There was almost a super mutant future where that was the only thing left, which is crazy to me. Insane. Because again, like the super mutants, wherever they're coming from, like if they were an experiment in some random lab somewhere in a distance, or they come from Mariposa, or they were part of the super mutant, like the Master's army, wherever they're from, right? They're still a big enough force to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But without leadership, they're not driving that force in any particular direction. So you
Mm-hmm.
have a bunch of random raiding parties and stuff, but people deal with them the same way they deal with giant rad scorpions and
Yeah.
packs of feral ghouls and raiders. Like, yeah, it sucks to get attacked by them, but it's not weird to be getting attacked regularly in the wasteland anyway. So they're just another threat that's out there now, but that's world building. That's
Yep.
something that's actually, you can have encounters with the super mutants now, and they have a particular way they act. And if you see a smart one, that's a prime. Wow. So interesting.
We haven't seen any super mutants yet in the television show, and I'm really interested to see if they include them.
It would be really cool. I think that there's a lot of interesting characters that you get to run into that are super mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's Tabitha, who has multiple personality disorder. It's so fun to deal with Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
There's the auntie so and so, or like the grandma who's a nightkin, and she also has multiple personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
You find out that that's actually common because there is a different kind of super mutant
Okay.
called nightkin.
Okay. Yes.
And nightkin are, instead of the big green Hulk, they are still big, exactly like a super mutant is,
Mm-hmm.
but they're purple. And they have schizophrenia.
Oh
All Nightkin
shit.
has
So,
schizophrenia.
oh wow. Okay.
Because they were part of the super mutant army by the Master, and they were his stealth legion. So he equipped all of them with stealth boys. Now, what he didn't suspect is that long-term stealth boy usage actually causes schizophrenia and can cause full breaks in your
So
consciousness.
the reason they're like that is because they're more susceptible to that because they already have the childlike mentality, or is it just
Even
they've
the
used
ones
it
that
so
are
long?
even the ones that are majors, like even a
Oh.
prime Nightkin, still generally is going to have multiple personality disorder,
Oh wow.
if not just really bad schizophrenia, because it's schizophrenia and then a full mental break. And when that full mental break happens, you develop two personalities that are now in the Nightkin.
That's crazy.
So, like, starting out, it was probably just, not even super noticeable because the Master hadn't been doing it for that long.
Yeah.
But over the course of another 100 years from now, these Nightkin that are now addicted to using stealth boys,
Mm-hmm.
they start to feel paranoid when they can be seen.
That's
Some of
wild.
them, it gets to the point that if they are not actively using a stealth boy, it causes violent outbursts with them.
It makes a lot of sense. Like, cause at the inevitably at the end of the day, it is a drug that you're using, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's funny because it's a drug, but all it's supposed to be doing is generating a stealth field around you, which basically it would be like having billions of little mirrors
Uh huh.
all over your body that reflect light in all directions, which cause you to appear see-through.
I want one of those suits.
Well, stealth boys were an American technology
Uh-huh.
advancement based off of the Chinese stealth suits that we fought in Anchorage, Alaska.
Uh-huh.
So basically, you had these like really good Chinese snipers that were just walking around invisible versus giant walking tanks of power armor.
Really quickly, a little bit off topic, what would you do if you were able to walk around invisible?
Oh my gosh, I would use it for the best blackmail ever.
Oh, see, I just wanted to play pranks.
Nah, nah. I would be in so many backroom deals. Just being like,
You're like, what's going on over
yeah,
here?
interesting, yes.
I need to take a vacation to Washington.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine, like, if you were just straight up invisible? Because people are just gonna kind of jot other stuff off as, like, oh, that's fine, it's whatever. Like, if an elevator were to just come up to a random floor and there was no one in it, no one would bat an eye.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that would be really interesting. And I didn't go into a lot of the factions here because I figure we're kind of going to go into them as they become more important.
Yeah.
So the Brotherhood of Steel did make an appearance in Fallout 1. Like, they do exist, you can get power armor from them, you can do quests, and there's a whole thing, but they're not really important.
They're just the side guys for right now.
Yeah, so, like, I wouldn't say that they were pivotal or really interesting to the ending of Fallout 1, because they don't really do a whole lot most of the time. Like, they exist, and again, they're there, but it's a faction. It's not anything.
And especially in the more simpler game format, it's not like they had as much time or space to go into all of the different factions.
Exactly.
So, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Do you have any predictions for Fallout Season 2? Because it has started coming out, but we haven't watched any of the episodes yet. Do you have any predictions that have to do with the first game?
Ooh, I expect in the Fallout TV series, maybe not in the second season, but I expect that we are going to see more people with psychic gifts.
Interesting.
Because it's canonical. The Master had the most powerful psyker we've seen in the Fallout games. Easy.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like, he was able to control armies of super mutant brutes and command them telepathically from any location from a hidden bunker in a vault somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we can say he was the most powerful one. But they are actively saying, in this world, it's canonical that you can develop mental powers through mutation or just random events or et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other characters like there's a guy called Forecast.
You've told me about Forecast.
Yes. And you find him at the 188 trading post in Fallout New Vegas, and he's a kid, and he wears here this is crazy. He wears something called his medicine. Now, if we go we go all the way back to Fallout 1, we go to the church, the children of blah, 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 which was the cult of the master,
Uh-huh.
essentially. We go back here to his little cult. They wore things called psychic dampeners. And they were headpieces that they would wear so that the master's psychic energy wasn't too much for them. Because if any normal person was like around him, it could pop your skull.
Oh
He could just
boy.
pimple you. So, and sometimes that would happen to people when he wasn't even trying. The amount of psychic energy that was like produced by him. These headbands bear a striking resemblance to forecast medicine that he wears. Because he says when he takes it off, he can see things. He can see answers to questions, but it starts to hurt his brain.
Buddy.
So,
That's wild that it's connected to the...
isn't it really cool?
Oh, what does the dampener look like?
It's a circular metal ring that sits around your head, and I believe it has a few different like magnets and stuff kind of set to the side, and it might even have like a little piece on the side that has like some kind of technology, like a circuit board switch kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's basically just a headpiece
Okay.
that he wears, and he says when he takes it off, he can see things, answers to questions. So he'll charge you caps. And he'll say, give me a question to ponder, and I'll take my medicine off, and I'll ponder it for you if you give me so much money.
We love a kid with a hustle. He's gonna be a businessman when he grows up.
And he's an orphan,
Uh-huh.
and that's how he makes money. He
That's
stays at the 188 Trading
wild.
Post, and he offers to answer questions for people by taking off his medicine.
I wonder. That'll be fun seeing people with like psychic abilities.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if they straight up, it maybe if not like go into the vault, but past Vault 15. Fallout loves a good Easter egg. I mean, any kind of show rendition of video game loves a good Easter egg.
Well, that's interesting because they're gonna have to travel from... Where does Fallout the first season take place?
I don't know, and this was something we were talking about before because they were in a place called Philly.
Yeah, which is we assume Philadelphia.
Which we assume, but it can't be because they were also in Shadyside at one point. Because remember,
Shady Sands, yes.
Shady Sands, because
which is in California.
Exactly, which is where Maximus,
Yeah, Maximus.
which is where Maximus lived, where he got bombed, and where the vault was.
Yeah, because...
with all of the people who are the survivors of Shady Sands.
Well, yeah, 68, and was it 60, 67, 68?
So
no, like
Philly
right next to each other.
can't be in actual Philadelphia. That just simply wouldn't be possible. They have to be in Southern California, which also makes sense because the Cowboy is in Southern California. That's where Vault Tech headquarters is. That's where they say they are going into a special management vault.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make sense if it was across the country if they were living in Southern California.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So they would... So, in essence, them just being where they're at would be very close to where the Vault Dwellers took off in the very first game. So Vault 13 has to be around Southern California is where it says. And so I don't know where they are in California, but the Vault 13 was in Southern California. And then they would have to... We know that they're going to Vegas, which is, Nevada. So they're going from California to Nevada. Guaranteed.
Yes.
Like, that's not even a question. But what we're going to see in between is going to be really interesting. And a lot of people are thinking that what we're going to see there is going to set it up for future. Because they might travel through a location that we have not visited in any Fallout game. And it's going to be like, they're giving us hints that this is what it's going to look like.
That's pretty cool.
So a lot of people are like, watch out for those little moments where they have the travel, because this could be giving us huge insights into what the world is going to be like in the next Fallout game.
That's really cool.
But yes, so there are a few little fun facts for the thing that I wrote down. I already told you one of them, which is that, Fallout 1 was made all the way back in 1997. But this game, obviously, kind of going back to what I said in the beginning, this is the smallest Fallout game that you're ever going to play. Because they did not have the kind of budget, they didn't have the kind of world building, all that fun stuff that they do now. So, can you guess how many named locations were in the very first Fallout game.
Okay. There's usually a lot. I think. So, what is a named location? Like, would like Vault 13 count as
That's a named
one?
location.
Shady Sand.
15, Shady Sands. Yep.
One, two, three. I'm gonna say 7.
You were actually very close.
What is it?
It's 13.
Oh,
There are a
that's not that
total. Well, I mean, it's still
I mean,
you're halfway there.
That feels like a lot to me.
Yeah, but guessing a random number, that's pretty good.
Mm.
So there's only 13 named locations in Fallout 1.
Okay.
There are random encounters that you can run into where it's like Hobo Shack and, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not, like, that's not an actual thing.
You
So
can't
there's, like,
fast travel there, so it doesn't count.
yeah, there's the Boneyard, there's Shady Sands, there's Vaults, 15, 13, and I think a few more, and like maybe 1 or 2 more are in there. A place called the Glow.
Ooh, Radiation Lake?
Yep. It's
Nice.
basically like ground zero of a nuke.
Uh-huh.
And it's like radioactive sludge and stuff in there, and you can find, like, it's like, really useless. You only go there like once, and you find it's one of the only places you find Radaway, I think. And when Oxhorn was doing videos on it, he was like, you only use Radaway like twice in the whole game. Ever. So it's not really used the way we use it now.
Yeah.
They didn't have that idea. But it's crazy to see the seeds of those ideas, right? Because they were like, okay, we know we want there to be a drug in this game that gets rid of radiation. We know we want there to be radiation.
Yeah.
And we know, et cetera, et cetera. But they didn't know how they wanted that to be represented. And now they have a super good idea, clear idea of what it looks like and how they've implemented it.
Right. It's also crazy to me that they started with mutants of humans that have nothing to do with radiation when there's so clearly the radiation gimmick there. It's really smart. I feel like it worked because of course you're expecting the radiation gimmick. And so have it be something completely different is a really fun angle to go.
Yeah. One of the things I did want to kind of talk about a little bit was the fact that Fallout, right, is a very post-apocalyptic, super cool idea because it has the old 50s aesthetic, but it's set in the future, so there's all these like crazy robots and stuff like that going on. But I think the thing that's really cool about it is the world of Fallout actively made a couple choices that they made canonical that I think were genius. One of them, sci-fi is real.
Yeah.
So laser guns, plasma guns, aliens actively exist in the Fallout universe. They're called the Zetans, and we actually get a whole like expansion where we get to go to the mothership.
If you can make it slightly logical, it's true.
Exactly. All you have to do is use a couple key phrases for something you're trying to accomplish, and then say conductor. So this is a beta wave conductor that harnesses the energy from thoughts and projects them into images on the screen. That's all I have to say. And now you know why I can take an image and a memory and I can put it up like on a TV.
Magic is not real here. Science is.
Science is real. And science is magic.
It really is.
Because it goes off the old theory of sufficiently advanced technology can only be explained as magic.
It really, it's truth.
So
that is true.
You throw a few like keywords in there to make it sound scientific, and there you go.
I still don't know how computers work.
Yeah, but they do work.
I know they do. I don't know how phone calls work, I guess.
Yeah.
Like talking to somebody through little metal devices that you can hold in your hand and play solitaire on. I don't get it.
Yeah, you go into a little bit of technical jargon that's like, yeah, that guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and you can explain almost anything.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love it so much. But because of this, we have psychers, too. Because psychic powers, that's not magic. That's mental capacity that's been unlocked through a drug or through a new invention that I made that stimulates your brain, or maybe there is a mutation in your brain that allows you to do that now because you've lived on the surface for so long. Whatever the reason, psychers are real.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool idea. But the last one might surprise you.
Okay.
Cthulhu's real.
Magic is real.
This has some people kind of split. Some people that play the Fallout games love this, and they're like, this is awesome. Other people are like, but like, I liked the sci-fi aspect, but now we're saying actual wizards and fireball magic kind of stuff exists. And it's like, but here's what I'm going to say. I like it.
Oh.
I like it a lot, but what I will say is if you're going to implement magic into a strictly sci-fi like setting, the best way you could possibly have done it is using Cthulhu magic. Because that is the darkest, most basic bitch magic I think you're ever going to come into. Because you hardly ever see a character in a Cthulhu book that has quote-unquote magic.
No, they're not casting fireball. They're being like, hey, do you want to do what I say?
Yeah, exactly, like suggestion, or maybe they manage to lift something with basically telekinesis.
They have the force.
Yeah, like, it's not that crazy. Like, I think if you're gonna implement that kind of stuff, making sure that it's not crazy or overpowered, and the thing is, a lot of people don't believe it.
A lot of people are just like, they don't actually... Cthulhu isn't real. They just are psychic, and they don't know what psychics are.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But there are places dedicated to these old gods where some things happen in the games that can't exactly be explained.
I love that. I love a good mystery where it's like, yeah, this could be true, or it could be totally false. You figure it out.
Exactly. So I love that this is where we get to see some of this stuff, and these will be the tones that are set for the rest of the Fallout games as we progress. So it's cool that we find out about the Brotherhood of Steel here, and we find out a little bit about them, but they're not important. They're not the big thing, but we are still world building. We find out about the mutants and where they come from. They will never be this important again.
Mm-hmm.
They are always on the decline, essentially, from this point on, because they were the main antagonist for the very first one. So yes, they exist, and yes, there are super mutants, and yes, they're smart ones even that roam around the wastes, but they are never going to be this pivotal to the story ever again.
But it's not their time to shine anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe they in another 100 years.
Yeah, they had their like win.
Well, to be fair, they can't reproduce, and if you think about it, people are killing them, so a new one has to be made, and it's the question of how many other places can even have the capability to make these.
Mm-hmm, exactly. If Mariposa's FEV vats were destroyed, then that means the only new way that super mutants are being made is if other super mutants drag them to other places that had vats of FEV, dunk them, dip them, and bring them out.
Or if a couple of college kids just went on spring break and decided to take a dip. Like, they're like, I don't know what this green goo is. You should jump in it.
That is kind of actually apparently the West Virginia thing.
I would be people from West Virginia who said, hot tub!
Well, no, they got fucked.
Oh, well, because that's them not actively choosing then, right?
Yeah, the scientists started implementing it into the water systems to see what would happen.
See, that's not their fault, so that's not them being like...
That's not them being dumb, but yeah, you're right. You're very right. It's not them being the stupid teen movie trope. You're very correct.
Like, ew, it's slimy and green. Oh, it's just algae.
It's fine.
But it's glowing. Shut up, Tracy.
Shut up, Tracy. You push her in. You're like waterboarding her. Like, you're fine.
No! Too hard.
Goodness. Oh my heavens.
She would come up as a super mutant and just super punch her.
Tracy kill. But I'm really excited. If we had to pick something from this episode that you're like, oh, that's really unique and really interesting and cool, what was the thing that you're most interested to learn more about?
Harold.
Fair. That's fair. That's a great answer.
And also, I just gotta say, with everything that you told me about Harold before, there's nothing in there that's saying they're not gonna see him. Yet, I don't know. I don't know the full story. He's probably like, even if he's dead, what if you can still see the tree corpse?
So that's exactly the thing we have to talk about.
Okay, don't.
Well, not the tree corpse.
Come back next time.
No, not the tree corpse. What I'm saying is, like, when we kind of talked a little bit about, like, we don't know what's canonical. So I know that in Fallout 3, you had the opportunity to murder Harold. I don't know if you did, though. and we didn't get to see what happened in Fallout 4. So there is no canonical ending to him
Do you
so
think
far.
if Harold dies, the tree dies with him? You would probably know because you've probably killed him before. I didn't mean it like that.
I did not kill Harold.
So there's an option for him to live.
Yeah, there is.
I didn't know that. See,
If you talk to him enough, you find out that the tree tender's daughter, like the main guy, she's young.
Should we save this for the X? Because you said we were going to save this
Oh
for the
yes,
next
yes,
episode,
yes,
and
yes,
I
yes,
just
yes.
keep talking.
And you
about
made
it.
you were leading me down an explanation.
I stopped you though.
You did. I'm proud of you.
Do it for
Good
the
job.
content.
So here's let's finish up the episode. We're gonna do Fallout 1, Fallout 2. We may or may not do Fallout Tactics because the problem is it's half canonical, and that's actively what they say.
We'll do a 2.5 episode. That's a 30-minute episode about the stuff that is canonical.
Yeah. What we hope and like kind of see and maybe became canonical. So Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3. We're gonna do Fallout 4, and we're gonna do Fallout 76, and then like one more probably to kind of.
Season 1.
Oh, Season 1. Yes. Season 1 of the Fallout TV series. We're going to do like a catch-up and like an overall and what we found interesting and et cetera, about it. And then it's going to be leading into Fallout Season 2.
Let us know if you want to see live recap minisodes for when we finally watch the TV series.
That would be super fun. Let us know in the comments if that's something that you guys would be interested in. But we hope you're excited, and this is week 1 of our Fallout miniseries leading up to Season 2 of the Fallout TV show being released. We hope you're as excited as us. Yes, fully. That's true, because it's going to take a little while.
Because we're bingers.
We are. But we hope that you're all as excited as we are. I can't wait to talk more about this, and who knows, maybe if this becomes something that everybody's super interested in, we can even do more episodes on the expansions for each one of these games that came out. I don't think any came out for 1 or 2, or Tactics, but I know 3, 4, and 76 had a lot of add-ons. But anyway, without further ado, New Vegas.
I was going to say, what about New Vegas?
Oh my gosh, so yeah, you're right,
There's going to be a lot of episodes.
7 episodes, I believe.
There's going to be... It's going to be after the full show comes out. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. But without...
No spoilers, please.
Don't spoil in the comments. Just like, you idiot. All right, so without further ado, that's where we're going to end this episode. We hope you all had a good time, and we'll see you again in the next one, Merry Travelers. Goodbye! Bye.